Hello and welcome to yet another interesting edition of your news program tagged The World This Week. On today's edition, as always, we shall be serving you the latest local, national and international news. On the second segment, foreign news recap, sports roundup, entertainment news, and the big one, Saturday special, we climax our package for the day. On Saturday special this week, we will be counting down on arguably the best national sports festival, Gateway Games 2024, to be hosted by the Ogun State government. I am Adibola Oshomuji. I'll be right back after this break. Character in leadership is the most important balance for leadership. Without character, leaders have no safety. Don't forget that you can watch us live on Facebook at Ogtv and Ogun State Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on Ogtv website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: X at Ogtv, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download Ogtv app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now to the news. The Nigeria Police Force has reiterated the importance of obtaining a permit for vehicles with tinted glass. According to Motor Vehicles Prohibition of Tinted Glass Act, anyone driving a car without and with tinted, shaded, colored, or darkened glass must secure a valid permit. The law allows a 14-day window from the date of purchase or importation for the replacement of such glass or obtaining official approval. The police clarified that this regulation applies to all vehicles, including those with factory-fitted tinted glass. The authorities emphasized adhering to the rule to avoid illegal issues, encouraging drivers to stay safe, stay stylish, and stay legal. To rid the nation of corruption and corruption tendencies, which are part of the reasons why insecurity challenges appear to be insurmountable, the fight against corruption must be institutional and attitudinal. National Security Advisor to the President, Malam Nuhu Ribado, made the submission in his paper presentation at the annual professorial lecture of Oba Dr. Sikiru Kayode Adetono Institute of Governance Studies to mark the 91st birthday of the monarch at the Ogbagba Hall of the Institute in Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
It's the celebration of the life of a monarch who represents excellence in leadership, described by many as a living legend at 91. Corruption and national security, impacts and consequences was chosen as the theme of the professorial lecture of Oba Dr. Sikiru Kayode Adetono Institute of Governance Studies, delivered by the National Security Advisor to the President, represented by the Director General of Department of State Security Services, Oluwatosin Ajayi, proposing a toast to the 91st birthday of Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Adetono. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in the state, Professor Abayomi Aribabu, said the reign of Oba Adetono will not just be defined by its longevity, but service, excellence, and impactful leadership.
In a world longing for integrity, you have remained a moral compass, a cultural custodian, and a visionary reformer.
The approach Pro-Chancellor of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Aguiyi, Professor Toyin Ashiru, said the institute, which has been adopted into the policy framework of the nation, is shaping the minds of leaders and the future of Nigeria.
The mind of that fight against corruption is not only about money, it's about protecting our peace, our future, and our people. Celebrating that this Friday with the election like this shows the kind of honor we have.
Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Ayodeji Agbola, said the professorial chair, out of many great things the monarch has contributed to the school, was born out of the concern for the way things are going in the country.
Is a reflection of how corruption should run. And year out, we'll be having this controversial.
Some of the traditional rulers and dignitaries in attendance bear their minds on the goal of the lecture.
Congratulations to Kabiyesi. At least I think we are moving forward now.
It's timely. It borders on corruption. Honestly, corruption is our major problem in Nigeria. And whatever way we can reduce it will help in developing our dear country.
His worries, his concern is on good governance and corruption in the country, which is the greatest problem this nation has.
Princess Adetonda Amola Adetono appreciated all who have come to celebrate his father at 91. Matthew Showme, Ogtv News.
Back to school in the most noble way, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Tech Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, after 32 years of living, returned to his alma mater, Anglican High School, Quarry Road, Abeokuta, with a red carpet reception. Dr. Tijani said he's committed to the upgrading of the school and millions of Nigerian youth. Fowora Adesonwo reports.
Plowing back to the roads, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, was given a heroic welcome as he strolled into Anglican High School, Quarry Road, Abeokuta, with his age 35 years after leaving his alma mater. He was in the school physically, but had been the brain behind the renovation of classrooms and equipment of the ICT laboratory in the school.
I started from this school. I started my own company that employs over 250 people in about 6-7 countries in the world. Today, I started from this school. So my encouragement to you is that you should not let the situation shape you. We used to play a lot. I remember my best friend, he's way shorter than me. The technical building was somewhere around that corner. And he decided that he was going to raise his leg over my head.
Dr. Bosun Tijani recalled that he was rascally in his school days, but the school shaped him and expressed his commitment to continue to see that Nigerian youth are not only technologically equipped in the digital world, but the country remains a pole of intellectualism.
I'm happy to announce a fellowship program for every top performing student in every year. So from GSS 1, 3 students from GSS 1, 3 from GSS 2, 3 from GSS 3, is 4 from SS 1, and 4 from SS 2. No SS 3, sadly. And each of those students, every year, will receive 100,000 naira towards their tuition. Each of those students will also receive about 3 pairs of school uniform and shoes. Each of those students every year. And the most important thing, because it's important to me, is that each of those students every year, except if you win again the second year, you also receive a laptop as well, each of those students.
The Minister for Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy Dr. Bosun Tijani was also accompanied by the Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabo. Professor Arigbabo said the minister had been a partner in progress to the development of education and youth development in the state. The Ogun Tech community hosted the minister and tabled its needs, even as Dr. Bosun Tijani challenged the group to look inwards towards providing homegrown solutions to unemployment, logistic bottlenecks, and industrialization. Adefowora Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
A campaign to stamp out cultism in secondary schools in Ogun State is being intensified as Ash Montana DEC, in collaboration with Catamaran, embarked on sensitization program across schools in Abeokuta metropolis. The theme of the campaign is Shun Cultism, Work Out Your Future. Toyin Ogundikwe's report is presented in this package.
In a swift move to stem the rising cases of cultism among secondary school students, a more holistic approach is required as government alone cannot face it. Preventive measures are therefore required, and this is why members of the Association of Sea Dogs embarked on a rally across secondary schools in Abeokuta metropolis to counsel pupils on the danger involved in joining a cult group.
Our focus to address them on cultism, what it does. When they are approached wrongly, they should speak. Bullying is part of it. When they have anything that does not conform, that they are not okay with, it's time to speak out.
I should tell them not to join bad gangs, not to indulge in any form of cultism. That should be of good.
In all schools visited, which included Lishabi Grammar School, Abeokuta Grammar School, Baptist Girls High School, and Ogun State Technical College, the message centered on consequences of being a member of a cult group. The eagerness in most of the pupils makes the program effective, while questions bordering on cultism were attended to. Stakeholders highlighted some of the approaches required in fighting cultism.
So we are encouraging members to renounce the cultism activities, membership. They are free, and once they come out and renounce it, the government is ready to rehabilitate them back into the society.
Similarly, some of the pupils exhibited sincere gratitude for the enlightenment, with a promise to shun anti-vices in order to become successful in life.
About cults, it is a group that are not meant for students, prohibited for students to join, and that students should try as much as possible not to join, because if they join, there's always consequences and the repercussion will always be bad.
And I don't advise my fellow students to join cultism. It can lead to loss of life, properties, and so many other things.
Rehabilitation centers to support former cult members by reintegrating them into the society have also been established.
The Nigerian Institution of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, Ogun State Branch, has inaugurated a new set of executive members and presentation of awards of recognition to deserving personalities who have supported them in the past years. The event was graced by fellows of the Institute, traditional rulers, notable personalities, and members of different professional bodies in Nigeria. Our reporter, Nkem Ago, covered the event.
The Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers came into existence in 1984 with dynamic set of executive officers and has been in steady socio-economic progress. Its aim is to create a platform for continuing professional development and technical services. The Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers also advocates for the welfare and interests of the electrical and electronic engineers and provides a space for decisions, mentorship, and knowledge dissemination. The immediate past chairman, Engineer Bolaji Ilori, in his speech, lauded the lofty strides of the engineers, urging them to keep up the good work while maintaining high standards.
Kicking off the chapter 2 years ago was a moment of turbulence that NITP, especially Abeokuta chapter, witnessed. We want to thank God that NITP Abeokuta was able to stand strong.
President, Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, Engineer Felix Olu, in his address appreciated all for their unwavering support in one way or the other and urged them to focus more on technical education than create engineers. Engineer Temitayo Adegbui, in her speech, was elated to be leading the institute.
For this to really come to be, I realize that it's not just by
his keynote address, the guest speaker, Engineer Adeshegun Fatoki, urged the professional body to continue to train and retrain members as the world changes and not to rest on their horse.
If you are still a student, you have to look at what your role would be in society. And for now in Nigeria, you are likely to be a maintenance engineer. So look at things that will make you well suited as a maintenance engineer.
Certificate and award presentation to distinguished individuals. Nkem Agu, Ogtv News.
To address the challenges confronting nursing and nurses in Africa, bold and sustained investment must be made. Drechwek Wiazo, Acting World Health Organization WHO Regional Director for Africa, has said, according to him, the steps are not just necessary but critical to future of healthcare systems across the continent. He said the reforms are urgent because the current trajectory is unsustainable, noting that despite significant investment and a near doubling of the nursing workforce since 2018, the continent still lags far behind on all global indicators of health system growth. In his message, global nursing workforce has grown to 29.8 million, up from about 28 million in 2018. The progress conceals dangerous inequalities, as only 80% of nurses serve only 49% of the world's population. Agreement between India and Pakistan after days of deadly jet fighter, missile, drone and artillery attacks between the nuclear said he is pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire, praising the two countries for using common sense and great intelligence. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the agreement follows extensive negotiations by him and Vice President J.D. Vance with Indian and Pakistani Prime Ministers Narendra Modi and Shehbaz Sharif and other top officials. The announcement comes after Pakistan launched counter-attacks against India after 3 of its air bases were struck overnight, and the conflict between the ARC forces escalated to dangerous levels. Pakistani's foreign minister also confirmed the ceasefire. There was no immediate comment from India that Pope Leo XIV inauguration will take place on May 18, 2025. 7th Pope, Chicago-born Robert Francis Prevost, said a pontiff was a humble servant of God and of his brothers and sisters, and nothing more than this. Describing himself as a St. Peter's unworthy successor in one of his first addresses as pontiff, Leo praised Francis' dedication to the sober simplicity of life. The first leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics to come from the United States, the new Pope also said it chose to be called Leo XIV as homage to Leo XIII, a 19th century pontiff who defended workers' rights. In his first homily as Pope Friday, Leo urged the Church to restore the faith of millions, warning that a lack of faith often went hand in hand with the loss of meaning in life, the neglect of mercy, appalling violations of human dignity, and the crisis of the family, and so many other wounds that afflict our society. The UN's top